many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Oh, you think you can chase that weight away? No, it's not to say it. I've got my eye on you.
The Wizard of Hunter's Egg.
We'll have none of that, you hear?
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
秀吉ですが初見です。
Oh, my good man. Drink, you please.
Please do keep shouting.
Size seal. Now that...
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't...
Whatever happened to that?
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Oh, fancy that.
The sun is out, yet I feel a cold inside my soul.
Feeling hot under the collar.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
To leave the city is to venture into danger. Be careful, Source Hunter.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad.
Ice blue eyes, narrow beneath a heavy brow, streaked with sweat and dust. Her hands tense.
Her brow knits together. But I am Bear Daughter. I have not come here to find trouble. And you are a Source Hunter. I have heard this woman here, the one who now plots her revenge. She crept behind me while I was hunting, and I only defended myself. But soon their swords were upon me, and they forced me into this cage meant for dogs. Mother would rip the fur from her chest if she could see how they keep me.
You don't think it's infected, do you? Hey, who's that then?
Easy, Tull. That's the Source Hunter you're talking.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a what. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what. And
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It was...
enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite...
Sorry, sir. After all, a fearless hunter.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not...
Source in Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Sicilian stew. Again.
It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. Perhaps in time I will come to know my own kind as you have.
Old face! To the barracks! Nuts! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not the scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring it... if you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I hadn't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep... How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicils, we are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't... I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's... Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking...
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Attention!
Source Hunter, I know you're probably knee-deep in that. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory. Lieutenant Selenia, at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' seconding. Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition, and even rivalry between our orders. And that is exactly what your presence in Sicil is, Source Hunter. The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them, the bravest among my men and women, tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before... I shall be very glad to share what information I can give. If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down the route of the undead. 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mounds, and there's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether... There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Sicilians rate all superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first. So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many lead... The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So...
Warm as dragon's breath.
I could do with a cold drink.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hint, not
俺も
exactly
秀
the
吉で初見です。
captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through.
マルチ
In play here, all right? But that doesn't solve the mystery.
I think it would be wise to inspect the Councillor's corpse and see what clues we can find.
Oh, my good man. Drink, you please.
Please do keep shouting in my ear. Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean...
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you?
That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake. So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear, do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him... Well, what do you want to know? Well, there are certainly some, interesting creatures running around these days. Orcs are only the tip of the bridge.
キレコちゃんの職業は何になったんすか?
Must have been at work in Sicil. Perhaps still is. How else do you explain risen dead sprouting like mushrooms in a single night? And that's not even the worst of it. No, the worst is they keep coming back. An endless legion of the dead that even the legion of the living cannot...
Quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look. The hunter returns. I hope you are here to shop rather than...
なんか一人仲間になった。
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
キレコは魔法使い的なやつ。
Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
変わってないやんしょう。
Not the move for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Norman man.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
遠距離から攻撃できるやつ入れたしょう。
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens. Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
What do you think you are doing? What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer, huh? My elf? What elf? Oh, myself. Oh, what? Oh, you mean Cecile. Very difficult times indeed. The undead have overrun all but one north. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole... And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a Jake murdered? Oh, yes. Yes, now most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. As you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit, such an all-right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor. What? The undead? Yes. What of what now? Ah, you mean the staff of Pergamon. Yes, Cecil proved an old fool, though. For the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone. His name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Sicil harbor. You can talk to him if you... The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. Well, I do believe that's something your parents... you see... When a lady and a fellow... Oh, this is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th sake. That depends. Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have marvelous... What? Oh, yeah, my Victoria has every... Yes, Victoria's come a long way from that little... What? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way back...
Monarchia de Monum, and the first edition too. Most promising.
Rack, mayhem. In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Geta Hal, be welcome. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a... The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But pray, he raised me like I was his own. This kindest... Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse. Tujageta, friend.
I need something more advanced. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And a first edition too. Most promising.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the third one gone? Shut so. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
To be discovered in this library.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the third one gone? Shut so.
Demonology for
Sometimes
dumbbells.
I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
I need something. Omnes autem mal. What? What is this? Oh, but perhaps no. Why? Simply because you hunt source now. I hate. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must. On one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal.
Where's the third one gone?
You speak before your turn.
Oh, simple souls. Oh, doomed spirit. The source. Why? Now, this is on one.
Volume 1.
I concur.
Oh, the source. What? Now, this on. Oh, simple souls. Oh, doomed spirits. What tangled webs you'd weave. No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. The first edition, too. Most promising.
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shut so. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Encyclopedia Daemonium. I know it by heart.
Kaj'Dinor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned.
No, this isn't the
Peleron will have to pay
grimoire
yet
I'm
another
looking
fine.
for. The
What? Oh, it's you! What? Oh, yes, the that machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. My dear girl, I introduced her to my library. If you're looking for something special, just ask. She knows every book by heart.
Pay the big cheese on your block for the wear of the good stuff.
Ah, hello. I am the Duke of Ferrell. Though I suppose my name is in... Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair... Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel it. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the... Ah, hello. I suppose...
Greetings, traveler. And may the Immaculate... What's in a name, dear friend? You mean you haven't heard? Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit by following her instructions. And she came from on high to we. She showed us that injury and malady need not... for this hallowed information, you must seek there. Go on the path.
He says he's an immaculate. But I thought they'd been banished after the death of the Source King.
think you're doing? I'm telling you, a necromancer must have been at work in Sicil.
Sicil, no, that's a sad story.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn. The name's Ivad. Pleased to make your acquaintance. All you see before you is the man of... Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman. Though I regret to say I can't say exactly who. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I was used to such transactions after many similar concerning her. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. By the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. Whoever done it has escaped through the window. But I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I had Councillor Jake. That poor man. I knew too much about his affairs, you know. Never figured it my business to say anything. Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know. He's called the Duke of Ferrol. A high title. Well, between you and me, things have been rather slow since the, incident.
Man, drink if you please.
Have you ever had the fortune of challenging
Back,
the
demon!
people?
Back or up! I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North. Medora's the name. Retired. Or so the order... Heavens hornets! See, I'm here on... There's been an attack there, comrade. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send up by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up... I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip. And, well, comrade, I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to... I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the count. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this...
Oh, careful now. Your head's
getting ourselves caught up by the demon's tomb. Well, you're lucky we Northies have a certain expression. Better to do right the second time than never at all.
Ah, pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know?
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what?
What have we here? Tall as an elf, strong as and my word, what passion burns from your...
Well, suffice to say, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke. Protected. Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to vicious... Yes. She... As Jake and Esmeralda had... It's I...
I'll tell you. You, heavens. See, there's been what they wanted. I came south seeking the Legion's help. Only to find it, well, you get by the... Well, you're... Wizard of Hunter's End. Drink, you please.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Feeling hot under the...
Sauce Hunter?
Sanctus 7, we've secured the perimeter.
Lord, sir. Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject something.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Can you spare a coin?
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
Attention! About face! To the buttocks! Notch! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew! Again! You! Again! Do feel free to depart from sight. Yeah? Well, have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If so, let's have it!
Sorry, sir.
Those boots in Paris are breachful. Get the shining recruit.
Sorry, sir.
Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject something.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in... I am Septimus, seventh son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicily. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute... Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicily. The Council of 7 couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. That he of all people should have braved the undead siege for so long, only to be felled by foul sorcery, is heartrending. And what questions are those? The Sicilians used to say this was a chosen place. I fought orcs crazed with blood liquor.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you... You say you will take me under your wing. But I see no feathers. Are you a child of the birds, as I am of the bears? And so the lonely babe was fed upon the wise godwolf Amira. In truth, this is a relief. Your world is made with rules I have not yet memorized. I am happy to have... Field?
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Well, what do you want to know? Listen, if you're going... I am Esmeralda. Starstow? Do you mean to imply he collected...
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper. If you've got a favourite sheep, now that the herd's gone, I recently sold most of the tender loves to a tree. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight.
Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Yes. She's in the other room as we speak. Well, she's certain. I expect she'll be a very successful...
Thank you eternally for your help. That strange reaction you caused. Blue light.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder...
Striking it rich!
What do you think you're doing?
That doesn't belong to us, you know. Other people's
So, what's the bad news? More, this here's my family business. Yes, there's been a robber to...
Sad story, that.
Though if I'm speaking plainly, I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a
The dead man is nervous as a squirrel. I'm certain he's hiding something.
Oh, how nice. Pray, let me be forward with you. I am but an aged elf. That you would listen to my grievances. Hot spiced wine and a...
I don't have the right tool for digging. Looks like that dog is awfully agitated. I don't have the right
Perhaps
tool
he wants
for
to
digging.
tell us something.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sisio pie in the afterlife?
Peace be with you, traveller. I once lived a Lonnie never she were killed last...
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff. Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Size seals ever seen.
Not the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more home than a slice of this fine Corbin there.
Bloody undead! Remember above all to stay.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the...
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours? Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
to see if you can choose the finest greens.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes. No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Looks like the mortician is rather suspicious about Jake.
What could Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, or Evelyn have to do with it?
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Sicil's ever seen.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll...
Pay the big cheese on your rope with a wheel of the good stuff.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? How do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would you like to know? Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses. He could have used it to... Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the... Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about her. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by a... I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of... It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched. Lured me outside, claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting. Sad story, that. I just concerned. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan on making some use of it. You know, I reckon Bertia really didn't get a fair shaking. So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have they... Like I said, I'm sure as sin not the ghoul responsible for snatching that body. That's it. What do you think?
Has the ground turned to glue when you've been naughty around here?
Rawr! Fine, my friend, but I will stay far away from this screech woman.
Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Let us see if you can choose the finest.
Oh, hello, love.
What are ye staring at? Captain Jack's the name. Though, go scallywag.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some.
Sauce hunters, eh? If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now for... Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to... I recently sold most now that the...
Wing of worm. Oh, and
I bet Tim Fred's been strung up by his ears by now. The devilish thing. Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human, I say.
Oh, my good man. I'll tell you. You wouldn't. Medora's the name. Well, you know...
Getting ourselves caught
by the demon. Well, you're lucky we not... I'll tell you. Hunter's greetings. So, have you changed more than I'd hoped, comrade? There's Mayor Cecil's doings, for one. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth. Now, don't get me wrong, but from what I've heard, I suspect an illegal fella seems like a loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on hardly the habit of an innocent. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't well, you know the old...
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
We could use Medora's experience.
By the demon's tomb, I never thought I'd live to see a well, you're lucky we not... I'll tell you, Hunter's greetings. So, well, you know the old
Another source hunter on the team will make us...
That's the spirit. Listen closely now.
gonna happen to that troop?
Watch out! I smell... Whoa, the fierce stench of frightened source goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. This time.
Lay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the...
Potions to bemuscle you!
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite, serving the 7.
Sorry, sir.
That's it, troops. Train up while you can. The next port will land at any moment.
Ah, the Source Hunt. Whom would you have the Legion arrest?
Right you are. Succumbing to a
Why bring up the subject of arresting someone if you don't dare go through with it? Damn waste of time, you. Yes. Well, have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If you must.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. What? I'd never. If you must, what a delight she is. And what might those be? One of them failed? Who is the monk? You know what? Here's the remote access device with which I used to control it. There's a manual for that somewhere around here, too. Yours, if you can find it. Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply must be. The enemy is wily. They know us better than we know. You have a flair for understatements, Hunter. I'm sure they are, until they conclude what... Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering...
About face! To the barracks! Not! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
One coin or two, noble spirit? Oh, I am a happy man. Ah, a fool once was I. And ever I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools advice. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possession. Fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety. Thank you, kind one.
So those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they? Indeed.
A coin.
Careful, comrades. I've seen sorcerers infuse even lowly fowl with dark enchantments.
Mouldy boots.
Let's see. Hello?
Hello again. Terribly sorry, Source. Is that so? Well, I handled the corpse myself, indeed, but I hardly knew them. I arrived at the inn, where the body lay just where it had fallen. The injuries were like nothing I'd ever seen. A single intricate laceration. I personally delivered the corpse the short distance to the mortician's house. As far as I know, everything was as far as a magical murder is. I've been studying under Theleron for some time now. I've a passion for this work.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Me? It was I who cured the not to mention that it's been Certainly, what would you like to know? The Councillor, from what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of it...
Paris by the dozens. Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fryer.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Lauren has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as Diana served great.
They say it was good.
4人でやるなら、レアドール入れた方がいい。前半の敵は、炎と爆発の矢だけで倒せる。 杖壊れるよ。
It's official. The Duke of Ferrol is the worst poet in Rivellon.
In his defense, not much rhymes with murder.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pocket.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't... Which one? I've written, Esmeralda, more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves is my devotion to my lady, not any actual intention to... Yes, she... As easy as it... Jake, which one?
Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be The hunter returns! I hope you are here to Listen, if you're going to accuse me... Oh, don't put stock in the hastily scribbled words of a lovelorn fool! This letter, it was a show of passion. A poorly worded passion I did not echo in the least. The Duke, he's like a spoiled child. He's not... I am Esmeralda, wife of... Do you mean... Well, Sicil had the biggest economy in all... So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so, lady. But seeing that I'm neither married nor engaged...
Oh!
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an
Ah, so that's what that did. A bloody dagger. Could this have been involved in the crime?
It certainly piques one's interest, doesn't it?
Real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda dearest. I'm just doing my duty for the Legion.
Well, you certainly... The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than... So, what piece... Perhaps it is you who should explain your presence in my cellar. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing him over the head with a frying pan? Well, what do you want to know?
Toe of snake, wing of worm.
Savageries in their very blood.